This is my review for the soundtrack album of Batman the Animated Series. So, where's the light? Okay. So, the story behind this is, it was released, and, well, the story doesn't matter, forget it. I know my camera is blurry, but, yeah, it's just close up. You can look up a picture if you want. That'll look better. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But I don't have a script for this video as usual because then I sound fake when I have a monotone when I am reading off of something. So the track list is huge. It's really just as cool looking in person as it is on the computer. Shoot, I don't think I can open this with one hand. Let's see. Okay, so here's the inside with Shirley Walker, and this is what happens when I have one hand to work with. Disc 2. And La La Land Records, which you can't see their logo there, but they are my favorite people in the world. They're so good. But, okay, we don't want to damage it. Okay. And we're not going to look very much at the booklet here because I'm not going to let you see it unless you want to buy it yourself. The music is mainly composed by Shirley Walker, but she was in charge of the music, and she made all of the themes, but she didn't make the intro music. Danny Elfman made the intro music. I know you can't read the track list, but on Leather Wings, I'm just gonna talk about the soundtrack of each episode that is included on here. On Leather Wings, I really like that music. My favorite is track 6. I'm not going to read that whole title, it's long. The Last Laugh is, ooh, I love that. I think I uploaded to YouTube a compilation of some of that music. It's catchy. And then, but it kind of drags on a little too long towards the end. But It's Never Too Late. That was probably the weirdest inclusion here. I don't know why they included that episode with the soundtrack here, because, I mean, I guess it's alright. It's fine. There was never a point where I wasn't enjoying the music. But, I mean, it's not a very... I don't know. I'm not detecting a theme in there, but Pretty Poison. Poison Ivy I really don't like. But there's some music in here that, from this episode, that I really like, honestly. I wasn't expecting it, but I do. I think it's track 26, or maybe track 27, I don't know. Maybe both. I think both, actually. There's something really pretty in there. Christmas with the Joker is so great. I really like how that Nutcracker music on here kind of changes from the normal Nutcracker music to being, like, I don't know, it intensifies. And this is really good. Everything on this episode soundtrack. And there's one on there that's not at all Christmassy. The train crashes. But I love that. That's the first soundtrack from the show that I heard when watching the episodes and thought about how I liked it. It's really fast paced, but I like it. And then Disc 2 starts with the alternate main theme from when they changed the name to The Adventures of Batman and Robin and tried to include Robin more because they thought it was too dark, which was dumb. So they made a new intro too, and that was the music, but I really like that music. It's nice and graceful. Two-Face Part 1 is not very much on here, but I love Two-Face's theme. I think it's really cool and perfect for him. Two-Face Part 2 has a lot more on it. They kind of just mesh together into one thing. Joker's Favor is the best thing on here. It's probably my favorite episode of the show. It's hilarious. And, I love the soundtrack. I've got a lot on here for it, which is a great thing. Then Vendetta, I don't know what that's doing here. There's some jungle sounding stuff, some drums, and I don't know. I really don't remember Vendetta at all. The episode itself, I mean, I don't remember. I guess the music was cool. I liked it, but, I mean, I really don't have a clue what the episode is. Perchance to Dream, I like a lot. I really like Mad Hatter's theme, honestly, and that appears in this episode. And it's perfect. It just sounds very dreamlike, I think. Or maybe my brain's making things up. But then, the final thing on disc 2 and on the album is Birds of a Feather, which is such a good episode, and the soundtrack is great because it's the Penguins theme. I love the Penguins theme, and especially in this episode, it's all like graceful and stuff, which is perfect for him because we all know how graceful the Penguin is. But anyway, then at the end credits, which I don't need to listen to. I've heard it a million times because it plays every time an episode ends. But yeah, so limited edition of 5,000 units. They only made 5,000 of this, but you could count it as 10,000 if you include the fact that this is the second edition. Originally this album was made in 2008, but it sold out, and then they reissued it at some point. I've got the reissued version. The only difference with the reissue is they removed the very first track and the very last track. So, the very first track was at the very beginning of disc 1. It was Gotham City Overture. It was a 14-minute long piece, which was really just a compilation of different, kind of a mashup of different soundtracks and themes from the show. But I don't really mind being without that Gotham City Overture because it just doesn't, I don't know, I don't care for it that much. I think I'd skip it. 14 minutes is a long time to be listening to mashups, especially when a lot of it you're going to be hearing here. And the other track missing was at the end of disc 2. It was Music of the Bat 101. I'm kind of sad to be missing that, but I mean, it's not regular music. It's a recording of Shirley Walker talking about her, like explaining her Batman theme, and also playing it on the piano and stuff. It's very interesting. There aren't a lot of recordings known of Shirley Walker, so it's very interesting. I've heard it. I've found it on YouTube, but so I have listened to it, but it's kind of sad to not have it, but I don't think I'd listen to it as part of the album experience. I don't need to hear an explanation on the Batman theme every time I listen to it, so it was 6 minutes long too, but yeah, so that's that. If I'm rating this with out of 5 stars, I would say 7, because I love this thing. It's just as cool as I imagined. It's just as enjoyable to listen to as I imagined. And it's just really good music and a really good soundtrack. I love Batman the Animated Series, and I have the full collection of the show itself on DVD. And so it's really cool to have this too now. So I don't really know what else to say, so that's all. Bye.